Hi, good morning, good evening. What is the total cost of ownership or TCO and how is it calculated? This is exactly what I'm going to discuss in this video. So let's get started. Total cost of ownership is not just the cost of purchase or cost of acquisition. It is calculated using multiple components of expenses. Let's take an example. Let's say Mr. X bought a car for $30,000. Is the total cost of ownership $30,000 or more? The answer is it is more. Mr. X drives the car to the office every day, that is 5 days a week, and he spends $100 every month on the fuel. He also needs to take the car to a service center, and that costs roughly $200 every year. In this case, let's say Mr. X stops using the car after 5 years or sells it. Then the total cost of ownership needs to take into account the cost of acquisition, operations, and maintenance. So let's look at that. His cost of acquisition was $30,000. The cost of operations is the fuel cost, which was $100 per month. So for 5 years, it is 100 into 12 into 5, which is $6,000. The cost of maintenance for Mr. X is $200 per year. So for the 5-year period, it is going to be 200 into 5, which is $1,000. So the total cost of ownership for the car for Mr. X is 30,000, which is the cost of acquisition, 6,000, which is the fuel cost, plus 1,000, which is the maintenance cost. So the total comes out to be $37,000. So how is the total cost for a software calculated or total cost of change calculated for a project? In the car case, we used 5 years to calculate the total cost. In the case of a machinery or car, there is a life expectancy. But in case of software, life expectancy or determination of that is typically not very well known. So organization use some kind of a thumb rule to calculate or to assume the life expectancy. Let's say it's 3 to 5 years, which is a common assumption. So let's take an example. Incata LLC wants to create an online e-commerce portal for its baby care products to increase its reach across the country. It has given the contract to a software company to develop this software. The software company is also going to maintain the portal for the next 5 years. So, how do we calculate the total cost of ownership? Now, in this case, we need to not only consider the development cost, but also need to consider the fact that the software has to run from somewhere. So, there will be a hosting cost as well. The vendor has given a development cost estimate as $225,000. The maintenance cost is $30,000 per year, which means the total maintenance cost will be 30,000 multiplied by 5, which is $150,000. Then comes the hosting cost, which is $3,000 per year. So it becomes $15,000 for 5 years. So the TCO in this case is $225,000 plus $150,000, which is the maintenance cost, plus $15,000, which is the hosting cost. That means the total cost of change or total cost of ownership for that product is $390,000. TCO is used to understand the total investment required for a new initiative. Because if you don't consider TCO, it does not reflect the current cost for an organization. It can also be used to compare investments into different initiatives so that a decision can be taken. Thanks for watching this video. See you in the next video.